Hello, this is Broyar, and welcome back to another episode of our Let's Play for Football Manager 2024 as we continue our Road to Glory run with FARSLEY. Still in the Vanarama National North. We stayed up from relegation. We're going to take a look at the end of season review, although it's going to go through this quickly because obviously we were only here for half the year. Most of this doesn't really apply to us. But the big thing, the more important thing is how we're going to rebuild the squad to actually make a stab at getting out of this league again, because we got to do it all again. Let's get into the episode. All right, here we are. FARSLEY, Celtic. I say Celtic because of America, but it's probably Celtic. We'll say FARSLEY Celtic, I guess. I could probably look that up. McKay, obviously looking really good. We'd love to keep this guy. We'd love to keep this guy permanently, quite frankly. He played well for us. Nobody else is really going to be that important because they're all kind of just whatever. But McKay, we would definitely like to try and keep. Looks like Boston United and Tamworth went up. Good on them. Gloucester, Nutton, Edinburgh, Kettering, Darlington all went down. We'll have to see who comes down from the Vanarama National League as well as who comes up from the leagues below here in a bit. Again, none of this really matters to us. We weren't here for the vast majority of it. We did get some new, a new deal on some sponsorship, which will be good. But again, we're just going to skip through a lot of this. Here's our squad as is. Yay them. Again, Baker McKay, probably the one guy that we'd really like to keep, if at all possible. Again, I'm not going to go through a lot of this, although Leverett, Gill, McCown, definitely some guys that we know we would think about keeping if they look good, if the deals look good. We shall see. Apparently, you guys were playing in a very interesting formation at one point. So, let's get into the real meat of this. And the real meat of this is going to be looking at our squad planner and looking at seeing what we have available, which is apparently nobody. Is everybody's contracts expiring at the end of the season? Everybody's contract expires at the end of the season. So, we're going to look at this. Pretty much anybody from here down. Wow, that's even Ian McCown. Okay. No, I mean, he didn't play well the last 5. I mean, he played well a few spots, but over the last 5, not very good. Pretty much everybody from here down goes bye-bye. That is crazy. That's kind of scary. We're going to set all these guys for release. Set up for release. That's a scary proposition, guys. Not a lot of guys in this list after we get rid of all these. But we got to clean house and we got to figure out something better. I mean, Ian McCown's on 350 pounds per week. That's a lot. I mean, keeping somebody like Tom Curl. You know what? Can I change that? Is it possible to change that? Did it still set for release? I can't remember. Actually, I don't know if that actually took. We might keep somebody like Tom Curl. Tom Curl has some potential. I'm gonna roll the dice on Tom Curl, and we're gonna try to renew his contract after all. We're gonna get him done. Okay, that's fine. Can I take you off the transfer list? Would you transfer? No status set. We'll see if you get happy here in a few days. The only other person would be Lecky. Again, maybe with the right formation, some of these guys would be okay. I mean, I don't know that I'd say important player. We'll give you a regular starter. And I'm okay with this. Yeah, we definitely want to become established. So let's see if we get something for you. Because I think some of these guys that have potential, they just need to be in the right system. I think that's what we got. Oh, really? I'm surprised you didn't take that one. It says we're offering the requested wage. We'll make things easier, so we'll just bump a couple of these other ones down. Keep the wage where it's at. Cool, 350. I'm okay with that. Who else? Probably O'Toole down here. I mean, he's still got a lot of development ahead of him, but we'll give this guy a chance as well. Okay, well, let me take you off the transfer list. I don't remember if I don't think I'm the one that did that, to be perfectly honest. So we'll take that. Honestly, Harry Allen even might be worth keeping as a backup. Are you transfer listed? Let's set you as no status set as well. Now, will you talk to me? Yeah, you'll talk to me. As a backup? Sure. We'll get you in here as a backup. All right, fine. Cool. All right, got him as a backup. Now that we took you off the list, will you talk to me now? You will. Cool. You don't want a non-contract, huh? I mean, we don't know for sure that you're gonna be good, so maybe a non-contract is okay for now. Right. Go with that. And then, will Lecky talk to us now that we took him off? Oh no, I already did that one. Who was it that we... Curl. Yeah, he'll talk to us now. Perfect. Come on. All right, fine. Go with all that. Perfect. Looks good. All right, so we saved a few guys. Definitely, Sam, you're going. So we're going to go ahead and... did I already set you for release? Maybe I already set you for release. Do you want to keep Luke Jones? Luke Jones? I don't think Luke Jones has enough ahead of him. I think that's it. And then I think we start... I'm going to go through and renew the contracts for a lot of these guys up here. Specifically, these guys that have 5-star potential. I'll be right back. All right, my goodness. This has been one of the hardest transfers windows I've ever tried to do. I mean, I'm still trying a few more things, but I feel pretty confident about our attacking side. Our defensive side, if you squint really hard, you can kind of see their star rating a little bit. I think they technically have skill, but the attacking side, again, and it might be just that the star ratings for our defensive side has been diminished because we actually have gotten some pretty good attackers. So it's just the overall average star rating for the team has just, it's fluctuated. They might be better than they look is what I'm trying to get at. We might have really good attackers and therefore it pushes what might have been a 3-star down to a 2-star for some of our defenders, things like that. So let's get into this. I'm still trying to get Baker McKay back. They do not want to give him to me at all. He's out on loan. They just don't want him to come here. So it's unfortunate. But first signing we got is Aaron Ojungu. Here he comes in as a striker. He's a 3-star, could go as high as 5-star. It looks pretty good. His finishing's not amazing, but he's got good dribbling, good first touch, good acceleration, good agility, good pace, good natural fitness. He's only 5'11", so he's not going to be one of the guys that we're going to have up front to be able to head stuff in, but he should be a good facilitator, I'm hoping, and we'll see what he can do for that. He comes to us from Huddersfield, Skybet Championship, so we'll see. I have no idea, but he's a first guy. Second one is Saul Solomon, who's another striker coming in here. His current ability is 3.5-star, potential is 3.5-star, so he's a really solid current player. Again, not amazing first touch, but overall well-rounded player. Again, another relatively short person for our striker, but he looks decent. He played in who knows what, Northern Premier League, who knows. He did all right in that league. This is a bit of a step up for him, but he looks halfway decent. Now, again, bear with me. I've said this before. I'll say it again. At this level, sometimes you just got to get what you can get. Sometimes you got to get the bodies you can get. Because either the people who are really good you can't afford, or they don't want to come here because of reputation, or you just don't know about them because your scouting is very limited. So we got to take what we're able to find is really what it comes down to. Next guy coming in is Nicholas Cyrus from United States. He's coming in on his loan. 2.5-star, could be as high as 4.5-star. I'll be honest, our scouts thought he was a little bit better than that, So not amazing, but not the worst. So we'll see what happens. Like I said, I think our attacking side is skewing the numbers for some of our defensive side. So we're going to take these as we can. Crabtree, another guy, looked better on the scouting side of things. 2-star up to 2. I mean, he's not amazing, but he's a body that hopefully will just fill a spot and get us some rotation or whatever. Giblin comes in here on the left side. 2.5-star, could be pretty good overall. I mean, some of these guys look like they could develop into something good. We got them maybe a little bit early, who knows? Or maybe they'll be all right. It's really hard to tell. It's really hard to tell. Thankfully, we're not really paying anything for, we're paying nothing for him. We are paying nothing for him. And then for Gibbon, I think we're paying a tiny bit. We're paying 60 pounds per week. So basically nothing. We're not going to get much better player for 60 pounds a week than what we got for Giblin there. On into the current season. We've got a few free transfers. We've got Jed Abbey coming in here. He can play all across the attack. He can play striker. He can play left. He can play right. He can technically be all the way back here on the defensive right side. That's the reason we brought him in primarily, is because his flexibility gives us a lot of options here. He's a tall guy. Got good jumping reach. Terrible heading, though. So maybe he's a good defensive tall guy. We'll see. He comes in here from South Shields. Played well last couple seasons for South Shields. So we'll see what he can do for us. We know he can play at this level. Witham comes in here on a free. Again, can play all across the attacking side of things. Most likely we're going to be playing him as a winger, obviously. But we're paying a pretty big chunk of money for him per month. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if he's going to work out for us the way we want him to. But he played well for Geisley last year, so we're going to bring him in, see what he can do. Duffy comes in here from Macclesfield, another Vanarama National North team, another winger. Not looking as good now. He looked better before I got some of these other players, I'll be honest. But he played well for Macclesfield for the last 2 seasons, so we know he can play in this league. We just got to get something from him, right? We got to get something from him, and we're paying relatively small amount of money for him compared to some of the other guys. Beckman comes in here on loan, defensive midfielder. He's got a lot of potential. He's not necessarily going to be amazingly great for us this season, but again, beggars can't be choosers. We got to take what we can get. We really just had very slim pickings. Katanet comes in here on our right side. Again, another guy. Looks like he's going to be amazing someday. Hopefully that amazing translates now, and we can get something out of him this season. We're paying nothing for him. I think Beckman, we're paying a small amount. Or actually, we're paying more for Beckman than I would like, quite frankly. But truth be told, I had no defensive midfielders. I was scrambling. I couldn't find anybody to get on to pay for. Nobody coming on free. I couldn't. I had to go out and get somebody for loan. And I actually didn't know about anybody on loan. I had to ask my director of football to find some people. And I kind of just took a gamble on Beckman. I did a little bit of scouting on him, saw that he at least had 2 stars. I was like, you know what? We couldn't find anything better. So we had to grab somebody. We literally had nobody for the defensive midfield. And then finally, Ben Ward comes in here, who can play defensive midfield as well. We're paying a good chunk of money for him, but he is our best center back right now. He is either our best defensive midfielder or center back, whichever role we decide to play him as. A couple seasons ago, he played in the league, in League 2. Not a great rating, but if he can play at all at that level, then I would assume that he can play at the Vanarama National North level. So we'll see what we can do with that. I'm not super excited about all of these players. I'm pretty happy with the attacking side, like I said. Defensive side, I was just scrambling. But here's what we look like. More than likely, our starters are going to be Solomon and Ojungo. So something like that. Probably put those 2 guys up there. And then on the left side, we'll probably have... Solomon is one of our best over there as well, but more than likely Solomon will not play there. We'll probably play either with him. Yeah, we'll probably play with him. Solomon can play everywhere. That guy's good. Something like that. With him or Stevenson, we'll probably rotate between the 2 sides. Duffy and Abbey will also play in there. So we got plenty of guys that can float around in those spots. We'll figure it out. Stevenson. Yeah. Something. We got enough guys that can rotate around that we will be able to field some teams. And as you can see, 2 stars, 2.5 stars, 3.5 stars. Overall rating up here was a lot better. We had no defensive midfielders until very recently. So now we actually have a couple defensive midfielders, technically. Leverett and Beckman are our primaries because honestly, we would prefer Ward to be back here on the defensive side of things. We might change our minds. We'll have to see. Euro is still back there. Lecky can play back there. Katanik can technically play back there. Khan can play back there. Of course, some of these guys can also play on the right side and the left side. I think we can field a team. I'm not, again, super impressed about the defensive side of things. We may give up a lot of goals this season. Although I will say this. Green was a 3-star player before I started getting these attackers in. That's the reason why I think our rating for the defense is actually better than it looks. Because green was 3 stars. Once we got these guys in, he dropped down to 2 stars because you're basically averaging for your whole squad. And so I'm thinking some of these other guys are going to be better than they look, and I hope so. I'm really counting on it. It's not great, guys. It's not great, but again, I tried. I couldn't get anybody coming in here. We'll see what we can do, Ho. I'm glad we got Ben Ward in here. He's supposedly going to be our best player right now. But of course, Solomon, Ojungo, some of these other guys are looking halfway decent. Ojungo actually was a 3.5 star a moment ago before we got Ward as well. So we shall see. We also got some youngsters that have some development ahead of them. It'd be crazy to play them this season, but they exist, There's actually green showing as a 3 star. It might just be that he's not very good sweeper keeper, but we'll see how that goes. I could technically get one more loanee in. Other than that, though, we are over our wage budget. I went over our wage budget getting that last guy in here. I don't know what else we can do. I can make a little bit of an adjustment here and hopefully make our wage budget look a little bit better, but not much. That's it. That's all we can do. We're going to be over the wage budget. There's nothing I can do about it. But if we can get one more loanee in, that would be amazing. I would love to get that one, what's his name, back. But if we got any loanee in at this point, it has to be a defensive guy. So I'll keep my eyes open for that. I just don't know. Again, our pickings were so slim. I had several guys that I wanted to bring in. Several of them said no. I had better options, I guess is what I'm getting at. We had better people in the list, and they just turned us down. So we're really just dealing with whatever we can get. Thankfully, we are not expected to be in relegation. We're expected to be mid-table, so that feels good. Our best player over here, according to this side, is Solomon. Ward. Yeah, that makes sense. Solomon and Ward. Those are some good players. We shall see. But I'll bring you guys back right before the beginning of the season. Where we played Derby, but obviously we expected to lose against them. And then we played this team that is in the Cinch League 2. Whooped up on them a little bit. They guys scored a lot of goals against us, but we did pretty good there. We'll play these last 2 friendlies, and then we'll come back in the next episode for Peterborough Sports and Southport. I'll bring you guys back right after the friendlies, though, in case I was able to get anybody else in here. All right, we're back, ready for the first game, which will be in the next episode. But, I think we got a good enough team to stay up. I think we got a good enough team to be mid-table. I don't know if we got a good enough team to push more than that. It's just some of these key spots, we just were not able to find people. It has been rough. But here's what we're basically working with. We got Solomon and Ojungo up front. Ojungo is looking really good through some of the friendlies, so we'll hopefully continue some of that from him. Stevenson probably going to be over here on this left-hand side. Witham looks like we'll probably have him primarily on the right-hand side. See what these guys can do. Finishing 10, finishing 9. 9 to 10 from all 4 of these guys. These guys cutting inside forwards, so we'll see. Our defensive midfield is probably where I'm the most concerned about, as for obvious reasons. We really just don't have anybody except Ben Ward here, so we're going to do the best we can. We got guys that exist, guys that can develop. If who knows, maybe they get half a star over the course of the season. That could work for us. We got Khan currently on this left-hand side. We got Katanik currently on this right-hand side. Several of these guys are just 2-star players, but again, a lot of these guys have potential. So you never know what's hiding underneath the hood if they actually start playing well. Of course, Ward's going to be our primary center back, with Lecky or Euro currently as alongside him. And of course, Green is our sweeper keeper with Allen behind him. I don't know, guys. I'm hoping this team is better than it looks. I'm hoping that these star ratings are skewed because of guys like Ben Ward and Solomon. Yeah, I think if those guys were 3-star players, then I think a lot of these other guys would be 2.5, 3-star players as well. So I'm hoping that's the case. It's hard to say. It really is until we really get into the season. But as of right now, we're expected to be mid-table, very solid mid-table. So hopefully that is exactly what happens. Hopefully we overachieve. If we overachieve just a little bit from where we're expected to be, we could potentially sneak into playoffs. You never know. But that's it. That's it for the transfers window. There's really nothing else. I've thrown everything I can at it. We're just a little bit over budget. Actually, I hate being over budget, but not much I can do about it. And yeah, really just won't know until we start playing games. So I do appreciate you guys watching, though. May God bless you, and I hope you join me again next time. Thank you, and goodbye. I wanted to give a special shout out to the following channel members. Thank you so much for supporting the channel.